Our top story tonight on Gravitas is about a shocker from Bangladesh, and even that is putting it mildly. State-backed communalism seems to have become the new reality in a country whose culture is known for multi-faith amity and secularism. It seems to be slipping into the clutches of religious intolerance. While its new interim leader, Muhammad Yunus, who remember was appointed on the basis of a mass upsurge rather than an election, does nothing. Can you believe that? Bangladesh has been stunned by a theft which is sacrilegious, communal, and has strong tones of anti-Indian prejudice. The sacred crown made of gold of the goddess Kali at the Jeshoresh-Wari Kali Temple in Khulna has been stolen. You heard that right, it has been stolen. Naturally, no one can find it because the extremists who committed this outrageous act, who insulted Hinduism, seem to have the protection of the Yunus government. And that's not even all. In a separate incident, blatant disrespect was shown to the Hindu community during Durga Puja celebrations in Chittagong by communalists. Let's tell you more about the shocking theft first. The crown of goddess Kali, stolen from that temple in Khulna district, was gifted by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his 2021 visit. The theft reportedly happened in broad daylight and was captured on CCTV camera. A man can be seen stealing the crown from the temple and walking away from the site freely. The Indian High Commission in Dhaka expressed deep concern and urged the Bangladeshi government to investigate the matter. But how is it possible that a sacred religious crown gifted by the leader of a neighboring country can be stolen this easily? How is this allowed to happen? And more importantly, who stole it? And is this just another example of Muhammad Yunus and the interim government's absolute failure to protect the country's minority communities? And what does that tell us about the current state of law enforcement under Muhammad Yunus? And it might be hard to believe, but the story gets worse. The crown theft is just one part of the story. Wait till you hear about this shocker. A group reportedly claiming to be a cultural organization, as per reports, sang an Islamic song on stage during the Durga Puja celebrations in Chittagong on Thursday. According to reports, the Puja committee initially permitted a group of 6 people to perform, thinking they would sing a secular song. Instead, after a harmless first performance, they switched to an Islamic song, shocking the gathered Hindu devotees. The video of that incident reportedly went viral on social media. According to reports, the police have detained 2 madrasa teachers for questioning. There are allegations that the group, the Chittagong Cultural Academy, is an organization linked to Bangladesh's Jamaat-e-Islami, the largest Islamic party in the country, whose ban was lifted by the interim government last month after more than 11 years. So here's a question for Muhammad Yunus. If the links are found to be true, will he go after Jamaat-e-Islami, the very party that he allowed to resume operations across the country? You see, his assurances that religious harmony would be maintained under his interim leadership more and more seem like a smokescreen to cover his inaction, because his inability or unwillingness to actually act against anti-Hindu forces has created a power vacuum that extremist groups seem all too eager to fill up. And you see, this inaction is increasingly becoming a dangerous hallmark of Yunus's leadership. The stealing of the crown and the singing of an Islamic song during Durga Puja celebrations are not isolated incidents, absolutely not. In fact, they are part of a growing trend that goes against minorities in the country, especially the Hindu community in Bangladesh. Since the forced ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, anti-Hindu incidents have reportedly increased across Bangladesh. Hindus, though a minority, make up nearly 8% of the population, roughly 13 million people. Since Hasina's departure, violence against Hindus has been reported in 75% of Bangladesh's districts. 75%. And there's also a spike in religious intolerance across the country. Last month itself, a radical Islamic group openly called for Durga Puja to be banned from public spaces in parts of Dhaka. In some parts of Bangladesh, Hindus last month reportedly received threats to pay extortion fees, allegedly, up to 5 lakh Bangladeshi taka or $4,200 to celebrate Durga Puja. Can you imagine that? And these incidents came on the heels of reports saying that Hindu homes, shops, temples are being looted, vandalized, destroyed with impunity. There were also reports of cases of sexual violence, lynching, killings, abductions, targeting Hindus. And there's more. A New Delhi-based rights group reportedly said on Thursday that religious minorities, including Hindus and indigenous peoples of the Chittagong hill tracts, have faced escalating violence since Yunus took over. Let me just repeat that for you. They have faced escalating violence since Muhammad Yunus took over there. The Rights and Risks Analysis Group basically flagged these issues in a report highlighting how the Bangladeshi army and illegal settlers have systematically targeted indigenous shops and businesses. You see, Yunus's assurances have fallen flat, to say the least. On the 16th of August, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi posted on social media stating that Yunus called him and assured him that the country will protect and ensure safety and security of Hindus and all minorities living in the country. But incidents on the ground over the next 2 months showed that minorities are not only unsafe, but their condition is increasingly becoming worse. The safety that Yunus promised appears to be just a hollow statement. Is Yunus just a persistent deceiver? Because his assurances appear nothing but a pack of lies meant to deceive Bangladesh and the world. But they are increasingly no longer deceiving anyone. The question is he just a puppet leader while the Bangladesh military calls the shots? Or is he just afraid to act? Or is there a deeper complicity at play? These incidents are part of a larger, dangerous pattern of systemic neglect and rising intolerance in the country. For Yunus, the question remains, how long before he acts on his grand assurances? How long before he stops being a deceiver? How long before minorities in the country actually feel safe? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.